when I came into Gyan, there was this one Murli in my, of course that Murli I would have read it again also, but I remember the first time I read it. And in that Murli, Baba said that being body conscious is like you are hung upside down. And when you're hanging upside down, then everything that you see is inverted. So, you're seeing the world upside down, and your world is exactly the opposite of the true world. And Baba in that Murli said that you have been hanging upside down for 2500 years. Because when you become body conscious, then everything becomes upside down. And then now when Baba is trying to straighten us, so when he tries to put everything into the right perspective, it's a struggle, and it's very difficult because everything that you thought and understood and how you behaved and the sanskars we created, and everything is not what it should be or what it was, and it has shifted to a very distorted form. Now today also Baba says that surrender to me, and then do not get tired on this journey, and I will not leave you like a husband leaves his wife in the middle of the journey. If he dies, I will take you with myself, but you have to have patience, and there is so much of karmic settlement that you have to do and all that. But Baba says the most important thing is you stay away from body consciousness, and this journey, this long journey, will become a very easy and very sweet experience if you just connect your intellect in yoga with me. But you see, our yoga is so connected to the old world. Yes, we have our yoga with the old world. And why do we have yoga with the old world? That's the question we need to ask. So who do you have yoga with? What is it that pulls your attention? So where does your yoga naturally go? So it goes to places where you think there is a relationship, and there is emotional attainment because of that, or other attainments because of that relationship. And then your yoga is also connected to people and places and things that you think can give you something. So basically, your yoga is always connected with the one you think is in relationship with you, and the one you think can give you something. Yes, and this is why. And it is such a big illusion that these days, when surveys are conducted, then it is found out that what is the most major cause of sorrow or distress or stress? So that is relationships. So people are very distressed and stressed and in sorrow because of relationships. Do you agree with that? So relationships are the major cause of sorrow these days. But still, it is some kind of strange illusion that you keep connecting your yoga with people with the expectation that the relationship will fulfill you. Yes, and this is interesting. So Baba says that you are connecting your yoga with the old world. Now the quality of the old world is whether it is souls in the old world, whether it is nature in the old world, whether it is facilities of the old world, whether it is the currency of the old world. whatever you are connecting your yoga with in the old world, you think that it is going to fill you and give you the peace and the happiness and the love and the joy that you're seeking. But Baba says that the old world is old, which means it is depleted, degraded, and it doesn't have the capacity, the strength, or the sustainability to give you what you're seeking. So it is pretty, it is pretty uncertain. So the old world is, lives are not guaranteed, or changes happen suddenly. So you are relying for happiness and peace and power on sources which cannot rely on themselves. So so you think that you have you so just think about it. You think that your future is secure because of your bank balance. But what is your bank balance? It is a digital number. It is a it is a virtual number these days. It's not even like it's not even like some currencies deposited in your account. It's just a number. It's all virtual these days. And what happens if the whole system collapses? So can you so and some there are private banks, there are government banks, but can anybody ensure that you will get it all back? Or you think you have a job, and then what is your job? How do you assert? What if your all the files that ensure that you have a job just burn one day? What happens? Or the system collapses, then how do you claim your salary from the job? And so these are very interesting things. You think that your security will come from places and people and things and institutions and structures which are themselves very insecure, so which are themselves very uncertain, and they are subject to the vagaries of nature and time and other factors. So Baba says that you are trying to derive your security, your sense of happiness, your sense of power from that which is not even happy or peaceful or powerful. Yes, and these days people say that we are going into nature, and we are trying to have a nature trip and find peace in nature. But then you can't go, if you can't even go unescorted in nature. So you don't even have the strength to go in a jungle all alone. You will need some person to accompany you, some guard, somebody. And then you see that you will always have doubts on whether they are well informed, whether they can ensure security and safety, and you will keep having that tension all through your trip, because you will feel that maybe they I don't know, if some attack comes, how will they save me, or what is going to happen. So do you feel peaceful amidst nature also these days? Because do you have the capacity to deal with this uncertainties and the suddenness of nature? So how do you feel peaceful there? So these are the questions that we need to ask ourselves. And I am telling this from an experience that one sister narrated to me, and she said that there was this trip where we went into a jungle, and there was a jungle safari, and then we saw fear on the face of the person who was escorting us. And then we got so afraid in the middle of the trip that we thought if there is an attack or something, he is the first person to go and run away. and then who will take care of us, or what will happen? And then it was a very tense trip, and the whole time we kept worrying what happens if a tiger comes and this person is the first one to run away. It looks like that. So this is how tensed we were. And then she said, we spent so much, we went to have a, an interesting trip, but we were not ignorant enough to have a peaceful trip. And maybe if the children enjoyed more, but then we were very tensed all through the trip. So this is what she was narrating to me. So this is what Baba is telling us, that you are seeking everything from the impure, from the depleted, from the degraded world, where no soul, and you are seeking love and appreciation and approval from souls who are not able to appreciate themselves. You are seeking respect from souls who don't even have self-esteem. So if somebody cannot respect themselves, they are seeking it from others, how can they give you appreciation? Anybody can give you what they have, and if somebody doesn't have self-esteem, they are seeking validation and they are seeking recognition all day from others. How will they give it to you? They have so less of it, they are hankering after it. And then how will they give it to you? So this is why people are very miserly in giving respect and appreciation, because there is too much lack of self-respect and too much insecurity because of lack of self-respect. And when there is no self-respect, there is a sense of insecurity, then you always want to send a message to the other person that you're not good enough, because that message comes from, that's a reflection of the message that is lurking inside you, that I'm not good enough. So we are seeking validation and recognition and appreciation from people who are seeking it from others. So then how will we get it from them? So Baba says, basically, this body consciousness. So today Baba uses this word that you have to be careful of body consciousness. But just like, Baba yesterday said that you cannot see vices, you cannot see lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed until they come into action. Similarly, body consciousness also you cannot check. There is no thermometer to check the temperature of body consciousness. So, you're 80% body conscious or 30% body conscious. You don't have that kind of measurement. So how do you understand body consciousness? So consciousness is reflected in attitude, perception, and action. And when you're body conscious, your attitude is that of a beggar, and you are always expecting and seeking from the old world. And then you have this idea that there is someone out there, something out there which can give you what you are seeking. So this attitude of a beggar from the old world, this is a sign of body consciousness. And then your vision, your perception is always that this person will give me something. So you look at everybody as a giver and yourself as a beggar. And then so this is how body, and then your actions are such that they reek of attachment. So attachment, you become very attached when you are body conscious, and attachment to people, places and things is a sign of body consciousness. So when you're body conscious, you will have attachment to people, places and things, and that is precisely the 5 vices. So that is why the body consciousness is the root of all vices, because and the basic programming is that with this body consciousness, the programming is that it is in the old world that I will find what I am seeking. And that is a very deep programming. So, this body, this people, places, things, institutions, work, job, these will give me what I'm seeking. And what am I seeking? I am a soul, so I basically need knowledge, purity, peace, love, happiness, bliss, and power. And you think that it will come from the old world. That idea is a very body conscious idea. And then we are trapped in that body consciousness. And then what Maya does is, Maya attracts us. And then you fall into the trap of attraction. So Maya will sometimes give you a glimpse, So I remember there was this one lady, and she came and she told me, first time she had come to the center, and she told me that I was duped in marriage. So I don't know whether you've heard this. I also heard it for the first time. She said that there was, it was an arranged marriage, and I got married, and 3 months we stayed together, and then in those 3 months, the person, my so-called husband, he took charge of everything he could, the money, this, that, everything. And obviously there was dowry given, and so much happened earlier also. And then one day when I woke up, he was not there, and he had absconded. And then when we reported, then we found out that that is not a first instance about him. So he is a person who does this professionally. So he gets married, and then he runs away with everything, and this is what he does. And then, so I was duped in marriage, and then I was, and then she was very wise. So she looked like she's very wise, and then whatever I told, we are a soul, we come from the supreme soul, there is nothing in the world to seek and find. She said, yes, absolutely, I agree, I'm experienced, I know, Didi, what you're saying is right, I understand God's teachings. And then for 1 month she was so regular. She would come in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Every time you will see her in the center. And I just thought that, Baba has got a right hand now. And then after 1 month, she just stopped coming. And off and on, she would come on a Thursday or a Sunday. And then I asked her, so she said, Didi, I found a job, and now you see I have to earn my bread. So of course I need a job. So I said, okay, you do the job, and you can also join online if you want. And I gave her all the support I thought I needed to give her. And then after some time, I found out that she is going into marriage again. And she has this, she has found this person in office, and now she's planning to get married again. And that's why this interest in Gyan was all lost. And then one day she told me that, Didi, I need Baba's blessings for marriage. So I said, I don't think you have read the Murlis. So Baba has told us that his blessings are only earned on the path of purity. Baba's blessings are not for any impure work. And I was very clear in telling this to her, because you see that you have seen it all. You have seen that bitterness, you have tasted it, and you were hurt by it, and still you don't learn. Still, Maya will tell you that, okay, the first one turned bad, the second one will be good. And and then she told me that, Didi, I have been told by many people that you shouldn't give up hope. So I said, okay, you ask them also, when should you give up hope in the old world? Because this is not hope, this is desire. This is not hope, this is desire. Hope is where there is hope is a hope. You keep a hope where there is a possibility of being fulfilled. But desires can never be fulfilled, and this is a desire, and the path of desire is the desire of sorrow, is the path of sorrow. The path of hope is the path of attainment, and there is hope in following Srimad, but there is no hope in following the path of desire. And you need knowledge. You need knowledge for this. There is a very good saying that accept what you can't change and find the courage to change what you can, and wisdom to know the difference. Similarly, we need knowledge to understand where we have to stop making effort and where we have to start making effort. That is the wisdom that Baba is giving us. Baba tells us that you don't have to make the effort to find happiness and peace in the old world. That effort will never lead to any attainment, because the old world doesn't have the quality and the qualification to give you that happiness and peace. It is in tatters. Every soul, everything is very powerless now. So if you don't understand that much and you keep running after people, places and things to give you security and happiness and love and peace, it will only meet disappointment, more and more disappointment every day. And then what Baba says is, in this path, when you are trying to practice withdrawing your mental connection from the old world and stabilizing your intellect's yoga with Baba, and understanding that Baba is my father, mother, teacher, guide, Satguru, everything. Baba is the one I will get all my fulfillment from, whether it is the fulfillment that I have been seeking from relationships, or whether it is the fulfillment that I have been seeking from things and attainments. So Baba says, I am the one who will give you that fulfillment. But because there is a sanskar of, not of a wandering intellect, it will require some practice, or in fact a lot of practice, to just have yoga with me and pull your yoga away from everything. But you have to practice that I am a soul. The truth is, all my relations and my attainments are with Baba. And Maya, as soon as you start experiencing that contentment and that love from Baba, Maya will try to distract you, does it not? Yes, so suddenly all your relationships will become very lovely. And suddenly, you will have a promotion, and suddenly everything at the workplace will get better. And suddenly you will feel that the world is not as bad as what Baba says. And I remember there was this one time, I was very new in Gyan, and I went for a holiday, and then in that holiday, first day I kind of remembered Baba, little somewhat I remembered Baba. Second day it was like Baba was almost lost, so I didn't remember Baba. Third day I told Santosh Bhai, you see, the world is not as depleted as Baba says. The world is like, okay, everybody is enjoying. There is so much of happiness in the world, you see, or everybody is having coffee, they are enjoying. And even life is good, no problem in life. So then he said, it's good that we are returning today. And we must return very soon, because this is how Maya attacks. And then you start feeling that, and this is what happens when you belong to Baba. Baba gives you all the love and the nourishment and the strength, and then you start with that nourishment, you start feeling the world is also not that bad. And then Maya also will start attracting you, and you will find a person who will be, very nice to you, or you will find something which will be going very favorable, or you're enjoying your health, you're enjoying pleasures, these things will always attract you. And then when you fall into that trap, you lose Baba, then suddenly they will give you a blow, and then you realize, what did I do? And the worst is if you don't receive a blow until the end. And in the end, if you receive that blow, then what? You will realize that, Maya deceived me, and I didn't follow Srimad and didn't do what I had to do in Sangam Yuga. So Baba says, just be very careful of Maya. But even before Maya, what do we have to be careful about? This body consciousness. And this body consciousness which tells you that, if you just try a little harder, you will find happiness in the world. If you just roamed a little more, you will find peace in some corner of the world. And then this is what makes your intellect keep wandering. So, it doesn't allow you to stabilize your intellect, because as soon as you try to stabilize, there is this call of Maya saying, just wander a little there, you'll find it. Don't just lose hope. That hope, that word hope will pull you into desire. And then you will think that maybe, if I tried a little harder, I will get it. And Baba doesn't tell us to leave anything, but Baba says, don't have any expectations from the old world. The old world is very, very uncertain, and it can change in seconds. And it will surprise you with the way it can change. So, everything will look hunky-dory one moment, and then the second moment, it's just gone. And just look at how people died suddenly in COVID. And whole families were left behind, and the breadwinners died, and children were left behind, and the parents died. And just think about how uncertain everything is. And still we think that, we are, still we think that we own something, or we are holding something so tight that it cannot change or it cannot slip away. So everything is subject to very sudden change, whether it is the body, whether it is the people around you, whether it is the circumstances, or even, what you think you've earned and got. So you're very proud of the house you've built, or the property, or the money that you have earned. But all that can be gone in just a second. So Baba says that this is why connect your intellect's yoga with me. And Baba says, whatever you need, I'm the one who will give it to you. And we have this training that, when you are in fear, you go to God. People say you go to God because you're God-fearing. So there is this thing, God-fearing. And Baba says, no, you don't go to God because only when you're in fear. You need anything. You need guidance, you need love, you need care, you need approval, you need appreciation, you need recognition, you need support, you need whatever. I am there to give it to you. I am the Father. And Baba says, understand, all your relationships are with me. There is a very good saying in English, you don't worry if you trust your Father. And Baba says, I am your Father. I am that Father who has taken your responsibility in this life, and I will give you the inheritance of 21 births. Why do you worry? So Baba says, if you accept me as the Father, there is no cause of worry. And I will tell you one incident. So, there was this one time way back, I'm telling you some time, some 8 years back. And there was this situation where there was no money to pay the rent of the center. And we were in a job situation where only one of us was working, and then at that time there were no students who could help, or it was some kind of that kind of a situation. And then I just told Baba, I told Baba, and I told Brahma Baba especially, I said, Brahma Baba, you are the Father, and you sustained all children in beggary part also. And you are the one who has always taken all the responsibility of children. I am not responsible, I am just a child. You have always taken responsibility, and I am sure you will take responsibility. I will not fret, I will not worry. You take care of everything. And that situation was solved within 2 hours. And I have seen that, when you have a father and you trust that father, and Baba says, this relationship, if you develop between you and me, I am the father, whether it is in this birth, whether it is physical sustenance, financial sustenance, any kind of sustenance you will get, but you need to trust me. And how does that trust build? When you obey the father. So there is in a family, Lokik family also, if there are 4 children, there is one special child who, whenever he tells the father something, the father does it immediately. Have you seen that? So and everybody in the family also knows that this one is the ladla bachcha. And why? Because he's a chamcha. He will do whatever the father says. So ये चमचा है ना, इसके पापा बहुत सुनते हैं. So he's like always there, ready to do whatever the father says. So the father also will always do what he says. So you also have to be that child to Baba. When Baba says something, you are the first one to do it. And when you do that, you've earned that relationship with Baba, where Baba will always give you sustenance in whatever condition you are. And Baba says that this is my relationship. But the thing is, if your intellect keeps wandering in the old world, how do you develop this relationship? Because Baba is non-physical, and unless and until you pull away your intellect from the old world, you cannot develop a relationship with Baba. So Baba says, don't get trapped by body consciousness, don't get trapped by Maya. Just understand you are just a soul, and I am the one you have all relationships with. And I am the one who will give you sustenance as a father, whether it is the sustenance in this life or whether it is the inheritance in the next life, in the next 21 births. And Baba says, I am not a poor father who will leave you poor. So, I will raise you rich and leave you rich. So, you will have everything. You will have health, wealth, happiness, good relationships, everything for 21 births. If you just belong to me, that's all you have to do. And then Baba says, I am the supreme teacher. There is nothing I cannot teach you about, guide you about, warn you about, or make you understand. But you have to connect your intellect's yoga with me. And when you listen to the Murli, which is Baba's words, then you have to go over and over again with your buddhi. The Murli, you have to go over and over the Murli again and again with the buddhi, so that those teachings sit in your buddhi. And Baba says your intellect has to be focused on Gyan Chintan Manan. So you have to focus your intellect on churning the knowledge I give you, because I'm giving you this knowledge. That I'm giving you is the source of understanding. It is the source of light, which makes you see everything clearly. It is the source of clarity. It is the source of virtues. It is the source of powers. So if digested well, knowledge will become virtues, powers, and too much clarity about everything. But Baba says, I'm giving you all of that, but you have to withdraw your intellect from the old world and churn this knowledge that the Supreme Teacher is giving you. But Baba says, and if you do that, and this is a long journey, so for years together you have to keep doing this. So because Baba says that there is a lot of karmic settlement, and all those settlements will come, you will settle them with the strength of my love and my support and my blessings and my teachings and powers and everything. And then Baba says, be assured, I will not leave you midway. I will take you with myself and I will leave you in a world of happiness for 21 births. But Baba says, this one effort you have to make, which is just pull your intellect away, surrender to me. And you know, people are very scared of this word surrender. You know, you always want to travel on two boats. Baba says, no, you have to surrender. Surrender means leave all shores, just one Baba. No hopes, no expectations, no wandering in the old world anymore. Just be there with everybody, but your intellect has to be completely pulled away from the old world and surrender to me. Whatever you need, even if you don't get it immediately from Baba, you get it after 10 years. You don't leave remembering Baba. You just remember Baba. Baba is the one who will give you everything. So Baba says, don't have a substitute for me. Surrender to me. And when you surrender to me, I will give you everything for all your life, this life and the next and the 21 births later. But Baba says, this one thing you have to take care. It's a long journey. Don't get attracted by Maya, because, you know, Baba says this is a very straight path. Hold Baba's hand, walk, you will reach heaven. But if you don't have your hand in hand of Baba, which is if you're not holding the hand of Srimad tight, then Maya will take you into a corner and make you lose the path. And then what happens? You will go to the jungle, and there you will experience a lot of torment and torture, and then you will come back to Baba and then again continue this journey. But in all of that, you know, you will lose considerable portion of this divine time of Sangam Yug and this blessed, you know, experience of life with Baba. So Baba says, don't make that mistake. So even if you make that mistake, there is no other way. You will come back to me. But at least don't lose that time, don't lose that fortune, because you will ultimately have to come back. But Baba says, then that equation will be different. Okay, and Baba says today, there is debit and credit both on this path. So when you follow Srimad, you are earning an income, a spiritual income, karmic income. But when you fall, when you go astray, when you fall because of Maya also, then the loss is also equal. So, and if you just keep earning and losing like this, then what will you earn in the end? What will be your stock in the end? So take very good care to not be body conscious. Okay, Om Shanti.